Hello and welcome back to World Talks with me, Ashim Kumar. Well, the Middle East is on fire. Israel is being attacked on multiple fronts, here from Lebanon, from Gaza and from Yemen. It's also facing hostile groups in Syria. And recently, well, this week, Iran fired almost 200 ballistic missiles at Israel. This has all the makings of a much broader conflagration. What can the world do to stop that from happening? Well, to discuss that, I'm joined by Marcin Krzyżanowski. He's a Middle East expert at the Jagiellonian University. Mr. Krzyżanowski, thank you very much for taking the time to join us.
Good morning, and thank you for the invitation.
Good morning. Pleasure as always. So, one thing that is rather striking is the US response to Iran when compared to the attack on Israel by Hamas and Hezbollah. In the first case, they're warning Iran of severe consequences. They've taken the handcuffs off Israel. But in the other two situations, they're asking Israel to show restraint. What's the difference?
The main difference is that Iran is one of the most powerful countries in the region, and escalation of the conflict with Iran could be devastating for the world oil market, as the turmoils in the Persian Gulf region would affect the oil prices on the global markets.
Yes, but as I say, you know, the United States is not asking Israel to show restraint against Iran. I mean, it's likely, or it's possible, of course, that Israel's response is going to include attacks on Iranian oil facilities, nuclear facilities, and so on. So that's almost inevitable. The world markets in oil are going to be affected, isn't it?
That's the most probable scenario, as the United States is trying to put some limits on the Israeli response. The response for sure will come, and most probably will be quite harsh. The question on the table is that if Israel will try to attack not only military facilities of Iran, which could be, let's say, less harmful for the global economy, but if Israel wants to attack also non-military sites, as, for example, oil refineries, oil terminal, and nuclear program sites.
Yes, but it's likely that they will. I mean, clearly, hitting Iran in the pocket where it hurts is likely to be a part of their strategy. But we shall see. Now, we hear that the Americans were involved, Americans in the region, were involved in helping Israel defend against the strike by Iran. What does that tell you? Is there a presence of US and other troops in the region that we almost never hear about?
The presence of United States troops in the Middle Eastern region and various places, not only in official basis, it's a fact, and we have to add to it additional Navy forces deployed in the region. Just the commitment, the United States commitment to defend Israel is strong and unshaken by aggressive stance of Prime Minister Netanyahu and his, let's say, stubborn stance towards the United States administration. And United States U.S. President clearly said that United States will help to defend Israel against any attack or incursion, including and especially Iran. But attack on Iran, the revenge, is something different. So the situation is very dangerous. Situation is we are facing a very serious crisis, but still we have a chance to avoid further escalation.
How is that? How would you see a reduction in escalation happening?
The ball is on the Israelis' court. If the Israeli response for Iran's Iranian attack will be limited, will not be targeted on oil and nuclear sites, but only on the military objects, there will be a chance to avoid further escalation. If Israel decides to hit Iranian oil fields and refineries, Iran will be forced to respond with stronger force than 1 week ago, and we will face a full-scale war between those two countries.
But, I mean, isn't this part of the Iranian strategy? Wait for Israel to respond in force, and then Israel is going to face global condemnation, as it does with its actions in Lebanon and Gaza, even though Israel was the victim, was the country that was attacked by all three of these groups. So what choices does Israel have? If it doesn't respond strongly, it's vulnerable to a second attack and a third attack and a fourth attack. And if it does, it's going to face condemnation. It's caught, isn't it, in the middle?
Yeah, and that's the main part of the problem. The situation is so tangled that various countries' conflicts overlapping each other that it's hard to make any step back from the escalation. And as you said, Israel was attacked by Hamas and is continuously attacked by Hezbollah from Lebanon, Houthis, Hamas, and various Shia militias from Iraq, and last but not least by Iran. So it's almost a siege against Israel, and there is a strong will within Israeli politicians' rank to change the situation, to hit so hard that next time the aggressor will think twice before he will attack Israel. But unfortunately, now we have also Iran on the stage, and the problem of the full-scale war, which is quite probable scenario.
Is there a role for the Arab countries in the region to play to lower the temperature?
No, not really, because they have no influence over Israel, over Palestinians, and over Iran. However, they can try to mediate and to mitigate both countries, especially Iran. However, the chance to influence the situation by that are minimal.
Well, I mean, relations between Saudi and Iran were starting to improve recently. You don't believe there's any leverage that Saudi can use in those mediation or negotiation talks?
Not yet, because the political relations, diplomatic relations between Saudi and Tehran were and still are warming up, but there was no economical or not to mention about military cooperation. So Saudi Arabia has no leverage over Iran. There is no carrot, no stick in Saudi's hands.
Understood. Now, how would you characterize the strength of the Iranian leadership inside the country? Are they a popular leadership?
Oh, definitely not. However, the Iranian society is deeply divided. So the leadership can count on very staunch hard-die supporters, approximately 30 up to 35% of the society, and similar number of haters, which are in favor of regime change. However, the leadership still controls the security apparatus, and there is no wide social discontent and disagreement. So at the moment, the government is in full control over the country.
Well, there has been social disturbance, but it was brutally put down. We think about the Masai Amini protests and so on. In any case, unfortunately, we're going to have to end it there, Mr. Krzyżanowski. Do come again and see us shortly. Thank you.
Always at your service. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Same to you. And that's all from us on this episode of World Talks. Goodbye.